AGI and artificial superintelligence is coming, so tell your MP regarding universal basic income and retraining. All jobs will be gone by 2031.
So I should do something that should be different, and I would like to do. So long story short, what he did, again, he used Gemini or ChatGPT, and he actually told them the story. This is what's happened to me. What can I do? And I think ChatGPT said, why don't you start a business from home, like handcrafted ornaments. So basically, what he does, he bought this machine from, I think, Amazon or something, and it's like a pottery, so he makes these small vase, and then he learned how to paint, and he basically, with the help with AI, he makes these vases, and I think he sells them for $15 to $20 per vase. So his cost price probably is about $5. He sells them for like $20, and this is what he's doing. And he goes, obviously at first it was scary. He's like, okay, what am I going to do now? But he has managed to replace his income. But the potential is that he can double his income in another 6 months' time.
Fantastic. We're going to have to summarize and wrap up in a bit. So, what kind of message do you want to leave our listeners and
Yes.
viewers with in terms of the future of the world, and also what do you think?
Yeah, so like I said, we talk about it all the time. Look, AI is here, AGI with another 6 months, and then 2027, end of 2027, we're looking at ASI. And what you want to do is you want to get involved in knowing these machines. So what are they called? One's called ChatGPT, one's called Gemini, then DeepSeek, Grok 3. You want to get to know them. You want to start asking questions. Another one is Copilot.
Yes,
you want to use them. Some people who actually do work in, like Shaquille, in a maybe an NHS environment or office space environment, you probably have to use them anyway. It's going to come into, filter into. Because if you don't use them, you will be left behind, and during the transition period, you can actually get lost, if you know what I'm trying to say. And in the worst cases, you can get sad and depressed. You see what I mean?
So, I would say, like in conclusion, maybe the world is a noisy, messy, and painful place sometimes for people.
At the moment, yes. Yeah. Of course, yeah. Right now, yeah. And it will be for the next 5-6 years, but then it'll come full circle.
So, exactly. But at the moment, for now, what we need is to have some hope in terms of what,
definitely, yes.
We're allowed to care, yes, without having to carry everything alone. So that's the message. You don't have to carry it alone. What can we do? Talk to people. Which is what we're doing now.
Yeah, there is hope. There's always hope. You don't want to give up, regardless of your age. There is hope for you, hope for everyone out there. It's not end of the world. What's the metaphor? There's always light at the end of the tunnel,
yeah,
which is true.
Yeah.
And you want to educate yourself. I mean, there is a lot of literature online, a lot of videos in regards to artificial intelligence and the future of work and how it will change everything. And I'll tell you one thing, by 2030, one second, sorry, I just
the main thing is you're not alone. And
by 2030, yeah, you're not alone.
And we're not navigating this alone. So the situation in the world, what we discussed at the beginning in terms of all the images and everything else that we're seeing, with reflection and honesty and integrity, and we'll get through it. And support each other, and obviously, until next time, take care of your mind, take care of your hearts, and take care of each other.
Yeah, so in regards to, mental health, one thing I do find, especially myself, that if you, like sat alone, yeah, and you start to think, don't you? And then it's like all sorts of thoughts are coming, right? And what that means is your brain is open to all kinds of thoughts because, don't forget, you put whatever you were scrolling, whatever you were watching. Now, how do you stop that? There is, I have a technique. I mean, to me, it works. Just like start reading a book. The idea is you wanna, occupy the mind, or else it gets occupied. Does that make sense? If you don't occupy the mind, then the mind gets occupied by 10 different things, which is then it's like, you see what I mean? That's true, isn't it? You want to occupy the mind. If you read namaz, then you see what I mean? You're occupied. If you're doing Quran recitation, you're occupied. If you know what I'm trying to say, if you have a single thing to do, or even if you're watching a good movie, then at least you see what I mean? It's occupied. But if you don't, what I'm trying to say is, if you don't do a single task, then your mind will basically try to think of 10 different things, and that is, I think, like a slippery slope to, see what I mean?
Yeah.
The rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Would you agree? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, so what you're describing is distraction techniques, using.
You want to focus because
using your time mindfully, so your mind is occupied. Things like gratitude practice, just like that, being grateful for being
especially
alive.
for people, what I'm trying to say, people who have retired or a bit elderly, you're at home and there's all this time you have in it, and it's
Journaling is another thing.
yeah. What I'm trying to say is, if you don't know what to do with your time, it's going to be difficult.
Sure.
It's like, okay, what do I do? And then you're always thinking about the past, or my auntie said that. You know what I'm trying to say? My papa said that. And
it's about living life with purpose.
yes.
So having a purpose,
So you want a purpose, yeah. You want a purpose. Be reading a book.
Be intentional.
If you want to be more religious, if you want to be more religious, if you helping others, make friends.
Charity,
yeah. That's why this is important, because I think what also happens is when people are alone for a long time. I mean, loneliness is not good, is it? Loneliness does, I think, I'm no expert, but loneliness probably leads to depression. Is that, I don't know, would that...
It can do. It can do. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's how you define things. What is loneliness? You can be sat with 10 people, but you still feel alone. Yeah,
that's true as well. But what I'm trying to say is, we do have so many people, whatever reason, they're at home and they have a lot of time. And also, look, the transition period, a lot of people will lose their jobs and universal basic income will come. But again, you'll have a lot of time at home. So you need to do something with your time. Have a purpose.
Yeah, it usually means having a structure.
Because don't forget, one thing is, you have to learn how to control your mind. Or else, I believe the mind will control you.
Yeah.